Hi everyone, this is EstaRa with a message for you today. Happy 4th of July to those of us in the United States. I'm like really having such an interesting morning, and I'm hoping this is recording because I tried this this is my third attempt. So one, I didn't have a voice, the next one I didn't have a video. So let's pray that this is working because honestly I don't have much time. So it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning on July 4th, 2017, and I have a family reunion today. Our family has been gathering together for 70 years at the same park, and we've been uniting every 4th of July. Well, I haven't been there in 6 years because I was traveling a lot, and then I had my car accident, and I haven't really gone anywhere until this year. So I'm kind of excited. Last year I actually went somewhere, but I didn't go to the reunion last year. Lots of stuff is going on. So, wow. Let's see. Where do I bring us up to speed with this twin flame journey? So, I'm getting very, very large promptings and guidings and nudges and kicks in the butt, if you will, to move forward on my journey and to take steps that are causing all kinds of havoc in my internal organs, if you will, like making me a little stressed out, a little nervous, but actually giving me a lot of excitement and anticipation for the future. So that's really positive and wonderful. And I hope all of you are feeling that. So since the solstice, the energy has been like tenfold, fast forward, let's go, let's move this forward, let's make this happen. So I know my last video was this really long video that had no voice, and I'm sorry about that. So I did a little brief one on my phone. And I have found that, I didn't share the entire details of what happened, and I was planning to write it, but that never ended up happening because I've been really busy doing what I'm not entirely sure, but I've been busy. So let's see what's going on. So I had this huge shift on, I want to say about 3 to 4 days before the solstice, but on the solstice is when everything was confirmed for me, that I had jumped a timeline. Wow, what does that mean? And that's incredible. So in my link here, I'm actually going to make a note, link blog. So in my blog about 2015, I had channeled pretty extensive information about timelines collapsing and about choosing your timeline. And, because there's no such thing as time and space in the ethers, and we're in this very linear world that we've been living, that information applies to current. So I'm going to actually link that in the blog. So link my blog inside the links here below so that you can read that, find out a little bit more about how that happens. People ask me, well, how do you change timelines? And it's not like you actually consciously change timelines, but yet you do consciously change timelines. I know that sounds ridiculous and it makes no sense whatsoever. But what I want you to know is that the consciousness is being aware and conscious moment to moment and making decisions and choices that bring you closer into your divine alignment. And so now as twin flames, making choices that are bringing us closer and closer into divine alignment also brings us closer and closer into divine union manifest here in the physical, right? So that's what I mean by it's like you choose and you don't choose. And that means moment to moment, you're actually consciously becoming aware of the choices that you're making and the things that you are doing. So I feel that in the last, I want to say 9 months particularly, I have worked really hard at raising my frequency and overcoming a lot of like stagnation and a lot of old paradigm energies that were surfacing and old energies, entities, and even human relationships that have been weighing me down without intending. I don't hold anybody accountable for weighing me down because on some level energetically we've contracted and I've allowed that, but I no longer need that frequency in my field anymore. So that has shifted a lot over the last several months. And then I went through that period where I was really, really, really sick, and it's so cool. Like I feel so much better. I still have my moments where I'm tired, but I'm definitely not who I was 6 months ago, let alone a month ago. I feel like there's so much that's changing rapidly for every single one of us here on the planet. And I have like so much going on in my head and so much that I want to share with you, but I want to do this video and not make it too long so that I can make sure I get it out to all of you before I leave for my day, because I have a long drive to get to where I'm going. So let's see. I'm gonna try. I should make notes about what I want to say, but I never do because I try to just go off the cuff and not let myself be influenced by like thinking and just let universe guide me through this and let spirit guide me. And it's funny. I don't, you know, I know a lot of people on here watch other videos and a lot of people watch astrology, listen to astrology, and I honestly, I need to let you know that I don't watch those. Not because I don't think it's valid to watch those, and not because I don't think the information out there is accurate or inaccurate. It simply is that I don't want my messages to be influenced by anybody external. So for those of you who sent me like links and stuff, I don't look at them, and I apologize. Sometimes if spirit really guides me, I might, but I don't. I don't usually look at them, and I try not to be influenced by external other people around me. I'd rather have pure channel energy. So forgive me for that, for not knowing all that information. And I had a friend of mine, talk to me last night. So what do you think about these like eclipses coming up? And I said, oh, I didn't know there were any. They haven't been brought into my awareness as of yet. So I'm assuming the eclipses are coming up shortly. And my guides will bring that into my awareness soon, but I haven't paid attention to that. But before all that happens, I just want to go back to timeline jumping because I'm jumping all over the place. So the timeline jump has catapulted me into a different alignment, and it's actually pushing me forward past some fears that I've had, and it's bringing it up for clearing. And I feel like it's happened to many of you, whether you have the conscious awareness of it or not. That has happened. And my guides, remember, they had mentioned in June 11th, I believe it was, that there was going to be a closing of a cycle, and that was the beginning. And it was going to take a few weeks for that to be fulfilled for all the people that are closing out their cycle. And that the solstice was bringing in this new energy. Well, that's where the new timeline confirmations came in fast and furious. And what I find is that a lot of people that I've been working with individually, they've been having like massive like mental stuff coming up. And I've been working a lot in their mental field when I'm working with them, helping them to debug programs that have been running that no longer serve them, and reprogramming, helping them to reprogram their thinking for the new paradigm energy and how to create the new reality that they're choosing to live in. That's been powerful and amazing. And if any of you have experienced that with me, I'd love to have your feedback if you haven't given me any. So I know that that's a big deal of what's happening. I also know that one of the things that has been occurring is in that process, stuff has been surfacing that I don't know, that we've tried working on for a long time, but never had the clear guidance. Well, there's a clarity now in this new energy that's been coming in for the last several months, but it's really coming in clear. So we're able to unearth, if you will, the stuff that's hidden, and it's being shown to us. Now that's on a physical, personal level, but it's also happening in our global world around us. So if you see that in the news and you see stuff going on, I don't really watch the news. I do sometimes watch alternative stuff online, or I'll read some stuff online about what's happening in the world around me. If I'm guided, again, doesn't always happen. So all that stuff that's being unearthed, as much as it looks chaotic and scary and horrible, it has to happen for us to move forward. We can't begin. So if you think about it, you're in a mud pile with all this crap, right? All these different things in this mud, and you're trying to rebuild something, but it's all mud that you're building from. You need some solid foundation to build from. So that's what's happening. All this mud has got to get cleared up so that you can create the solid foundation going forward. Well, what does that have to do with twin flames? I heard a message in my head say. That has a lot to do with twin flames, because in order for us to be united and to come in the physical where it's going to be substantial, lasting, and permanent, like I know those are all the same words. In some ways, they're all kind of the same thing. In order for that to happen, we need to build a solid foundation. But that doesn't mean we build a solid foundation together just yet, because each of us individually have to rebuild ourselves in our solid foundation. Feel strong so that it's not out of old dynamics and old paradigm energies of, what is the word I want to use? I would say codependency is a great word for it. We can't build from codependency relationships. We can't do what we used to do, like I need you and want you. Like we can't do that. We actually have to do it from a stance of I want you in my life. And yes, you're my beloved other half. You are the other half of my soul. You are me and I am you. but it needs to come from a solid foundation within us so that we come together in union in a solid foundation and we create from there, which means we've gotten rid of a lot of the baggage that has been coming up for us, a lot of the baggage that's keeping us apart in union. And then when we're in union, yes, things will still surface, but they will be completely different and they will be addressed as you go. Whereas in the past, we didn't do that. A lot of relationships, if you think about relationships in general, we didn't address any issues we usually, all of us, and I'm not saying we, meaning just me and my twin, I mean everybody on the planet. In relationships, some of us suppress, we don't speak our truth, we're afraid of all that. All that stuff happens. And when that happened, what did it do? It made it so we had no communication, no real connection, because the more lack of communication, the more disconnected we become in relationship, right? So the more communication, the more we come together in connection. And that goes for twin flames. And that's really the new paradigm. And that's the new energy going forward. And I got to tell you, there's so much happening internally for the divine masculine right now that I've been told since before the solstice, since before June 11th, actually. So a lot is going on internally. A lot of structural changes internally are taking place within the divine masculine. A lot of that has begun or happened in terms of the divine feminine in relationship with their divine masculine, but the divine masculine is in like fast track, right? So they're going through it much faster and they're going through it in a more direct way. And I want to say, in some ways it seems easier because it's faster, but it's not, because if you think about it, like we did it in a slower capacity. And I'm saying we as the divine feminine, those of us who've done the work, we have done it in a slower capacity. It seemed like, holy crap, it's never going to end. And we've been doing that, right, over time. As that's happened, we felt like, oh, it's never going to get better. This is horrible. They don't have to feel anything. They're not thinking about anything. Because we did it in that way, it was almost setting the groundwork for our divine masculine to have that alignment so they can do the fast track to get where they need to. And that goes along with what my guides have been sharing with me for years. They've been saying it's really important that you recognize, EstaRa, that no matter what happens, that you keep growing and you keep going forward despite where you appear to see your twin or where he appears in your reality. Keep going forward. He will jump to where you are. Well, guess what? All the work that I've done, the foundations that I've laid, are actually making it so he can do the fast track to get to where I am. Now, I say fast track. We're human. We're in a 3D heavy, more dense dimension at the moment. And while that's the case, it might take a little longer than fast tracking. It might not appear as fast tracking, but it is. It is, because I think of how long I've been on this journey and how much work I've done over the years and how long it used to take. Like when I used to do working on loving myself and like being empowered, it seemed like it took eternity. It took years, like a good 15 years, sometimes 20 for different things. But now I work with my clients and they can plow through that so quickly. And then they plow through it again and again, and they move faster than I've ever seen. And that's because time is faster and energy is moving quicker. Is time faster? Well, that's another story. But the truth is there is no time and space, right, in another dimension. But here on the earth, we kind of have that. Well, we're trying to speed up the energy so that our time is closer in reality to what the other side feels, the other dimensions feel. And that is like a whole nother conversation. But what I'm getting from that to share with you is that manifestation will be like that. And it already is beginning to be that way. I know that there's things I think about or want and it appears and shows up immediately. And I say immediately, which is like within a day or two, or even the same day, which is much faster than what used to happen. So be conscious of what you're manifesting, be conscious of what you're putting out there, be conscious of the thoughts and feelings that you have. That is so imperative. Okay, going into the energy of this moment. So on 4th of July, it is considered Independence Day. Freedom is what I think of when I think of this. So this morning I sat with Spirit and I thought, oh, sometimes the stuff that's going on in my country feels not free, doesn't feel independent. It feels very old. It doesn't feel forward thinking. It feels like we're turning back a lot of things. That's the outer appearance. But internally, I actually think everything that's happening externally in the chaos is actually creating that massive change of freedom and independence for our country. It may not appear again on the outside, but inside, I feel like in each heart, we're all opening to a more divine timeline. And how that turns out and what that's going to look like, I'm not going to go into, but I actually believe the possibilities are endless and they are amazing opportunities coming our way. in terms of my journey and what I'm seeing for that, I feel like use this day, like I felt this morning, to use this day as a freedom to love. That's it. Freedom to love your neighbor, freedom to love one another, freedom to love your twin, freedom to express yourself, freedom to be who you truly are. Because how many of us have not spoken our truth? How many of us have held back who we really are? How many of us have not wanted to be seen? And how many of us have been so willing to dim our light to make everybody else happy around us? Today is the day to be who you truly are. So that's my message for 4th of July. Be free to be you. Be free to be love. And that is who you are. One more thing that I wanted to bring into your awareness. I'm trying to do it quick, and I'm sorry. I'm from Connecticut, the northeast of America, and we speak quickly. So you might want to rewind, slow it down a little for yourself. I guess I think that's all I wanted. Oh, actually, there's more. There is something else I wanted to say. So over the next month, feel this energy of freedom entering in you, because collectively we're putting into consciousness independence and freedom. So that is going for your beloveds, those that are in karmic relationships, those that are stuck where they are. That energy of freedom, if we choose to be free to be who we are, speak our truth, be in our power, and we begin to put that out to the universe more and more, that we are doing this and we're free to feel loving about our bodies, our lives, our desires, our truths, everything, that ripples into your beautiful beloved's energy as well. And guess what that does for your beloved? It opens their heart to become free from the chains that have held them back. So I know for me, I've had severe injury. So one of the things I'm currently working on is I've had severe injuries to my body from car accident, but I've had like 7 major traumas to the same body part, same part of my back, same discs and nerve pain, nerve damage, all that stuff. I've had 7 traumas, and I'm holding the fear in there. And, I could easily say it's the fear of moving forward. And there is some of that coming up, because I'm definitely going to be pushing boundaries that I've never pushed before. But it's actually, I'm holding on to the fear of, I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to fall. So instead, I'm bracing myself. That has to go. So I'm freeing my body. I'm working really hard to free my body on that, and I'm talking to it every day. So that's one of the issues I'm dealing with. I don't know what you're dealing with, but if you get free and you work on that freedom for a part of you, that's happening for your beloved too. It sets them free. And then they can expand beyond where they are. And then ultimately they could leave their geographic location. They could leave their relationship they're in, the job that they're in, the thing that's holding them and keeping them from being who they are. They'll become free from. They'll become free to leave that. So that's the freedom message for you. So that's the month of July. August is coming in fast and furious. So on 8/8, and I don't even know when August 8th is. Let me just tell you in a moment. August 8th is a Tuesday. August 8th, there's an 8/8 gateway, the Lion's Gateway. And I really, I've been wanting to do this manifestation workshop for some time now. And I think that's the day. August 8th is when I'm going to hold it. And it's funny because I'm giving you like a month's notice, more than a month's notice. So please pay attention, join my email list. And if you don't have the ability to access it through my website, because honestly, the website is kind of a mess right now, please email me directly. I'll leave the email in my message below, but it's April@soulstarhealing.com, and that's going to be in the links below. So please check that out. Email me and say, I want to be on your mailing list. And then I will place you on the mailing list, and you'll get updates as to what's going on in terms of things I offer. But on 8/8 is the Lion's Gateway. Lion's Gateway is known as the Cosmic New Year. Why would that not be the perfect day to create and manifest and really work on manifestation? So I've been working on it. I've been working on manifestation since forever, really. And for my guides always called me Master Manifester until my car accident. And then I was struggling, actually. And I manifested amazing things, by the way. I'm still in my home where I work and live. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't manifest amazing clients and friends to support me through the journey of me being in a car accident and not working and actually not having health insurance. So that was a really big deal. So I guess I am a master manifester, even in the bad moments. But in the last several months, I've been really downloading information and receiving it from sources that Spirit has been giving me and pointing me a direction for. And I have been really working on manifesting. And I have to tell you, I think the culmination's coming very soon. And as of the solstice, my guide said next 3 to 6 months are going to be massive change. And that means not just for me, I definitely feel it for me, but I actually feel it for all of humanity. So I want you to prepare because the stuff is happening. And I want to assist you on that journey. So if you are interested in the manifestation webinar, please, please, by all means, get on my mailing list and pay attention because it will be August 8th, 2017. It's funny. I had a client try and a few clients try to attend the 2 dates that I put out there, and both times it didn't work. And actually, both times my computer wasn't working, ironically. I think the timing wasn't right. But I think because we're moving into this new dimension, we have this freeing this month. Use whatever you can to remove blocks this month. But I'm going to be so excited to teach this class because I want all of you not only to be in union, because that's absolutely a definite. I want you to be who you are. No bars held. I want everything gone. I want every block and obstacle that you can push through, remove, to go, because it's time. No holds barred, because it's time to be who you really are. It's time to be in union. It's time to be on mission, and manifestation is the key. So pay attention to that. That's coming up. So we have a huge deal coming in August, and there's massive change coming, and that's the cosmic new year. So let's set the tone for the new year. Other things that are coming up that I really want you to be aware of on, I believe it's Friday of this week, is July 7th, 2017. That is the next energy body upgrade. They have been really powerful, I would say, for the last month and a half, like kick-ass powerful. So kick-ass powerful that I feel like, whoo, I'm done afterwards. And what I've learned because of that, I'm trying not to schedule appointments for like that day or several hours after I do an upgrade, because it literally catapults me into a different energy. And I think it's been really assisting other people who've been on this journey. So please check that out. That is July 7th, 2017. Link inside this thing here. And then on Sunday, July 9th, I am going to host a twin flame meditation webinar. So if you've not done that with me before, I really recommend trying it. I feel like it's so powerful as a group. And I really am not sure what the topic is going to be because my guides haven't, given that to me yet. And it's 2222. So we're going to have to go in a moment. But that is coming on Sunday. So if you're interested in gathering together with other twin flames around the globe that are interested in not only like bringing our energies together in love, but also bringing us together one-on-one as twin flame couples, but then as a group of twin flames, we're here to support one another. We are not meant to be alone on this journey, and we are totally not meant to do it alone. And so if you are wanting to have a group that comes in, supports you, and loves you, by all means, connect with us and let's create this massive change by starting with us, right? And what else do I want to say? Oh, and I want to bring this to your awareness because recently my guide said to me, you have the greatest tool available to you. I did a meditation back in March that was really powerful in healing and clearing for twin flames. And when I did that, I didn't realize, I realized at the time how powerful it was, but then I never used it again. And in the last week, my guides had me listen to it 3 times. So there is definitely something to the group energy and group power. So whether you're on the call or not, it doesn't matter. If you can't make the webinar, but you sign up for it, you'll get a link to listen to it. You'll get all the recording to you. So that's a possibility as well. And that is a very small fee. And then the only reason I really charge things to make them very feasible for as many people as possible without shortchanging myself, because often I've done that. So it's $11.11 for that meditation on Sunday. Okay, I am going to stop talking now, I think, and we'll be done. But I do want to pull a card because I'm getting prompted. I pulled cards over to me. I pulled cards over to me today, right before I started recording. So let's see what Spirit wants me to say. All right, a card just flipped out of the deck, and I'm just going to share that one because it feels like a really proper one. And I love this. This is for all of us. And I have to tell you, the card just, it gives me chills to think about. It's exactly what I just said was going to happen in this month. So before I turn the card over to you and read it to you, Let me just read it to you. It's Celeste is the card. So the deck I used was Messages from Your Angels. That's Dorian Virtue deck. This is like the first deck I ever purchased for myself many years ago. I don't really use them for readings, but I was in a bookstore, and I remember every time I went into the same bookstore, I would get drawn to this deck. It would just like jump out at me. So finally, after like, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, I finally bought it because, I don't listen right away to spirit, as I'm sure many of you get like that too. Okay. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Here we go. Take a look at that. Oh, I don't know if you could see. Let's make that go down and see if that helps a little bit. I don't know if you could see it. I feel like it's not a good. Oh, that's as good as it's going to get. So anyway, the card is Celeste, and I will read it to you again. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. I love this card because this goes in alignment and along with what I just talked about a few moments ago about how July is this freedom to be who we are. And as we're free, shifting takes place. So everything is up for shift. Everything is up for change. Everything is up for movement into new positive energy. That's what this month is going to be about. And I just want you to recognize, I just like looked over in the corner and I saw a sign that says, be the change you wish to be. Be who you want to be. Be who you are, who you truly are. And you're a divine twin flame. That's who you are. But you're more than just a divine twin flame. You are the biggest power mover, shaker, changer on this planet. And your job is to do that, is to bring divine love here now, but also bring massive rippling love change out into the universe. That's what Twin Flames are here for. Okay, enough of my rambling. I'm done for the day. I wish you a very happy 4th. I wish you a beautiful week. And I would like to try to come back later this week. We'll see what happens. But please stay tuned. Lots of information coming, lots of things happening. I wish you many blessings. I wish you a very happy, happy day and happy union to you and your beloved. Namaste.